Hello, um, my name is Kim here from Abadir Academy, and for those who are watching this right now, those who are going to be watching this later, we're going to be speaking on various tips and important pointers that everyone should know, every seller should know, in fact, to ensure that he or she has a successful store or runs a successful store on Amazon, and both Amazon and eBay. And so we're going to go through all these important tips, and it's going to be a series. I'm going to be posting at least 3 videos each week, and I may also be posting a follow-up blog to make it easier for everyone to follow up and to trace back all the points and to start working on them. But today we are mainly going to focus on tips that everyone should know when it comes to finding the right supplier for your products. If you're willing to if you're going to sell a particular product, how do you find the right supplier? And there are actually many tips on doing this the right way, but today we're going to concentrate on a few important pointers that everyone should know, or that every seller should know when looking for the right supplier. And then as we move on, we're going to cover all these other things in the selling of goods on Amazon or eBay. So let's dive in. And today I'm going to speaking on these points. And the first point is, let's say now here I'm assuming that you already have the product that you want to sell on Amazon. So now you're going out there finding the supplier, and I'm going to be speaking on one example of the product, which is today I'm going to speaking on the ultrasonic mole repeller as an example product. And so we're going to see how we can find the best supplier for this particular product. So let's dive in. So the first point is supplier of supplier. Now, what do I mean by this? What do I mean by supplier of supplier? Now, since Alibaba, first of all, the best one of the leading suppliers or most products that are sent on Amazon today is Alibaba and AliExpress, and both Amazon and eBay for those who are doing drop shipping. Now, there are some pros and cons of using this, and because it has become such a huge platform, some of people in China, some of the suppliers in China are actually second-hand supplier, or I might say they're supplier of the supplier, in that sense that they know local companies that actually make the product, and what they do is mainly connect you to the actual supplier. So it means they add a profit from the actual price of the item. So for example, you need to be careful. What I said at this point, because many people miss this and they find themselves paying a huge price for something that they could get to the original supplier for a very cheap amount. So for example, you could find this mole repeller goes at 2.5 to 4.5 here on Alibaba, but you could find another supplier that sell it at maybe $1 USD, you see. But now what happens if it's the same item and the same brand? You may realize that person is actually the supplier of the supplier. Like, there is an original supplier, and all these other pretend supplier take products from and advertise them as if they're the ones supplying it, and so they add a particular cost onto it. So you need to be careful about that. And the second point is you need to find at least 3 suppliers for your product. Make sure before you go ahead and select the supplier that you're going to use and that you're going to go for, make sure you find at least 3 suppliers for that product. And we're going to go on several points on how to get those top 3 suppliers. Some of the points I'm sure that you already know, but I'm going to cover a bit more today. when looking for supplier, the first thing you should look for is communication. And by communication, I also mean fast response. And in this communication point, first of all, you need to know how you're going to communicate with them, and you need to communicate them with you need to know how to communicate them the right way in order, first of all, to get the right price and the lowest possible price without compromising the quality. Now, there's a difference between just getting a cheap product and getting a cheap product without compromising the quality. Your target should be always never to compromise the quality, because that's very important that your quality remains intact. And so when looking for the right supplier, you need to be able to look for someone who has great communication. So the supplier should be the reply rate should be high, and not only that, but you should be able to reach them quickly. Now, there's some suppliers who give out their phone numbers, and what I like to do personally is I first of all communicate with them via email or via the Alibaba messaging platform. But before I start communicating with them, I'll look at the years of experience of the supplier, rating, and quantity that they're able to supply. Because now, if a supplier is able to, for example, this supplier is 4 years, this is how you can see all these pointers, and you can also see the quantity, supplyability of the supplier. Now, in AliExpress, these terms may differ, but it basically means the same thing. And also response rate, you can check transactions made, you can also check trust and rating level of the supplier. Now, I like to go for the gold suppliers. When you're searching for any product on Alibaba, you'll find gold supplier, silver, and whatever. I like to go for the gold supplier because they are most trusted, and you want to be, especially if you're starting to sell on Amazon and you're a new seller, you need to find a supplier that you can trust. It means a supplier that has the has a good track record, because you have a new capital and you're not ready to take risk at that time, especially if you're a new seller on Amazon. So after looking at the communication, fast rate response, years of experience, rating, and quantity now of supply. The reason why we look at quantity is because if a supplier is able to supply a large quantity, means that he or she has a larger inventory, which can also encourage him or her to reduce the price per piece for each item that you're purchasing from the supplier. And after that, that's why we're looking for supplier that has a large quantity. And also, this will also ensure that whenever your inventory goes down and you're ready to order a new inventory, you can always count on them to be able to supply that product to you. See, so you need to go through several suppliers. For example, today I'm going to speak on this product, which is called mole repeller. There's also it's also mole insect and other rodents repeller. So there are various suppliers that are selling this. Sometimes now, on selecting the right product, you need to also, okay, for example, you see this small repellent, it does the exact same thing like the one that the first that I showed you here, that I've shown here. This sells at 2.5, while this sells at 1. I think this is 1 to 5 USD per piece. So let's say you could negotiate this for 2 USDs, but you could see like there's a difference in price between 1 and 2.5 to 4.5. So when you see this difference, you need to go ahead and contact the supplier and see whether, and first of all, determine what is making this product more peculiar than the other product, and then also why, and also after that, after seeing what's making it peculiar, why is one more expensive than the other, then you should first of all try to determine whether is this a true supplier or is a supplier of the supplier. If you determine that it's a true supplier and the product is still expensive, then you need to go to the next stage. You need to call and negotiate the price. Now, when I'm saying call and negotiate the price, I mean like literally pick up a phone and call them. There are many apps that I like. If I know there are many people that live outside of China that also sell on Amazon. Now the apps like Telos, I like using this app. It's good. There are also many apps, other apps that you can use. You can buy credits on this app, and you can call suppliers from China and stuff. And so calling them directly will really help you get a chance to negotiate. I have had a lot of prices reduced just because I picked up a phone and called them. When you call them, you're able to really negotiate with the supplier. Most suppliers will go down regardless of the initial price that they give you. Even if they tell you that this price, this item, this material, whatever, just try to call them, give them a call. That's the next step. Once you determine that this is a true supplier and it's not a supplier of the supplier, and the product is still expensive, the next step is to call them and renegotiate. Another thing is on your email, try to, if you're going to email them, try to add these important pointers. If you're, for example, if you're starting a new product, you may want a test order which may be of a little of a less inventory amount, or like of a less you may want to take in few stock, little amount of stock at the start. So for example, look at this email. Hi, I'm looking for a test order of 300 units for you, for your product, whatever product. For example, in this case it's mold repeller. And then now you can add some other stuff, but the important thing I'm going to show you in this email, the first one is to your first email should contain like a test order or some other kind of a similar statement to this. And then the next thing should be, start from their website, or you can even start from their Alibaba price and say, like, from your website the price is that, our budget is that. So for example, in this case, from their website the price is 1.9, but our budget is $1 USD. You need to start from that. That's very important, because that's a good place to start negotiating. Then after that, you just go on and write your email. And then there's another thing to include is, please understand that we are a repeat buyer and large volume buyers once we are happy with the manufacturer. So this will encourage them to really drop the price, to really give you a good deal, because they know that if once they give you a good deal, you will really come back and get the product again from them. And another thing to check with them is in your emails is also make sure that this product does this product have a patent or trademark, because you know that's you can do that on Amazon. You run into problems. So after, you need to establish a relationship. You need to show them that if they give a good price, they're going to have a long-term relationship. You need to build some kind of incentive. You need to give them some kind of incentive for them to really know that it is important that they reduce the price. Communication is everything with the supplier, and any good supplier will consider that and will give you a good price, will give you a good deal. I've even had some suppliers that have also referred me to other suppliers who have better deal than what they're offering at their company or whatever, or manufacturing plant. So communication is extremely important with the supplier. So the supplier should be able to after meeting all this, the next step will be to, or the next point, or the next step that you should not forget is find it on Amazon. Especially if this is your first product, you need to go ahead and go and search the product, search the niche on Amazon, see other products that are selling that, see other people that are selling that particular product, and see whether or not it's profitable for them, whether the customers like the product. So, for example, you see the mold repeller that I did find here from this supplier. If you go ahead on Amazon, you should find another product, someone who sells that product. You see, this is the exact same product that we found there on Alibaba. Exact same product. Now, what you do is, when you're doing research, you need to go ahead and look at the reviews of the product. So go ahead and scroll down, read the reviews, see how the product is performing. You'll find all this. Now, all these things, one, you need to find, if it's a first product, I advise that you find something that is similar to what you want to sell, or the exact, like the one that you have to sell, Though again, you have to be sure that it's the right niche and it's not a saturated niche, because you need to again to ensure that you're going to sell your item. We will speak on that later, because that is in the section of how to find the right product. We are speaking about how to find the right supplier. So let's say this is our product. Let's assume this is our product. So on Amazon, you'll find they're being sold. You need to go ahead and look at the reviews, see the reviews. Whatever, this is a 3.5. You see, 3.5 of 5 stars, and it is only 102 customers reviews. Then at least if you find if you're starting, you should find a product that has maybe at least 4 point something reviews. So you need to find a product that has that amount of reviews for you to be able to start. But what I wanted to show you in the reviews is you need to go ahead and go to the CEO customer reviews. This is the next point now. Ask the supplier if he or she can fix the bad reviews. This is the next point. So you need to go ahead and go to the top rated, but now I'm going to change a few pointers here. Go to the all reviewers, change that to, one moment. Change that to, from all stars, change that to all critical. Then leave it to text, image, and video. Then kind of copy all these bad reviews, then send them to the supplier, or like determine what the biggest problem. If you can read the first 10 reviews and determine what's the biggest problem with this product. For example, definitely not water resistant. Let's see if there's another water resistance issue here. Walls, whatever. Let's see if there's another person that has spoken about water resistance. Waterproof. You see, it's another thing. Make them waterproof, and they are 5 stars. So this is like one of the problem. So the waterproof thing. So you need to go ahead and send the supplier this issue and ask them if they are willing to fix this particular issue. Even if you find a product, your product that is 5 stars, if it's 4.5 maybe out of 5 stars, go to the negative reviews, because again, if you don't deal with them right now, they're going to reflect on your purchases, so on your item when you're actually selling on your store. So you need to again to be very careful of this. So if the supplier is willing to fix the problem, and if you're confident that they are going to do that, or if you find another supplier that has fixed the problem, or another product that is similar to that. For example, there are many companies that offer various versions, various models. You need to make sure that the model that they're giving you is actually a high quality, high value product that won't bring you issues. So another thing is normal that you probably already know. Ask for sample order of the item, and also be careful if the item uses battery and stuff, to ensure that those things don't go exploding on people and catching fire or any other not 7 scenario. So let us go through these tips. If you have any questions whatsoever, just ask me or write it down on the comments. We're also going to post this on the YouTube channel or some other place. We could also write a blog about it, a follow-up blog. Will update you on this, but feel free to ask if you have any questions, and I will get back to you on the next session, and we will discuss further on this. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy selling, and have a great and productive week. Thank you.